16,000. That is how many jobs could be wiped off the map at one of the biggest companies on earth, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Not a startup struggling to survive, not a company losing money, a company guiding up to $169 billion in revenue this year, preparing to cut 20% of their entire global workforce. And here's why this Monday is different from every other Monday that we have covered. 2 weeks ago, I told you about a fintech company that cut nearly half of its workforce. And the stock went up 25%. I said that they were going to be copycats, or there were going to be copycats coming up. And there was going to be a copycat wave coming. Today, I'm here to tell you the copycat wave is no longer coming. It is here, and it just went corporate. We are going to break down the 3 companies that ran the same playbook this week. We are going to cover the Fed meeting happening tomorrow and what Powell says on Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern will determine your job search timeline for the rest of 2026. And then I'm going to show you something that happened right inside this community this weekend that proves the opportunity is real. Right now, guys, this is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Let's look at the data. Let me show you 3 companies that made headlines this past week, because when you line them up side by side, the pattern is pretty impossible to ignore. Let's jump over to segment 1, okay? Check this out. Let's line them up side by side. All 3. These are going to be 3 stories, and I want you to look for the pattern, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is preparing to cut 20% of its entire global workforce. That is up to 16,000 jobs. Their biggest reduction since 2022. Now, here's what makes this different from every other layoff story this year. The company is not struggling. The company is not in some financial hardship. The company isn't spending billions on the metaverse and completely failing. They are guiding $162 to $169 billion in 2026 expenses. The majority of that money is going directly to AI infrastructure and AI talent. Their CEO told investors this on an earnings call earlier this year, and I quote, "Projects that used to require big teams can now be accomplished by a single, very talented person." That's what he said. And he is not saying that business is bad. He is saying one person with AI tools can now do what a whole team used to do. And the company is betting $600 billion on AI data centers through 2028. They have offered pay packages worth hundreds of millions of dollars to pull the best AI researchers in the world onto their new superintelligence team. So where does that money come from? It comes from 16,000 people's paychecks. That's where it comes from. I want to show you guys a video. Check this out. Okay, check this out right here.
Hey, Melissa. Well, Mark Zuckerberg said back in January that Meta's new AI model would ship in coming months. But now Meta doesn't yet have a launch date for its high-stakes large language model in the works called Avocado, according to sources. Now, this despite the company ramping up to as much as $135 billion in capex this year. Meta's playing catch up as its AI division has undergone upheaval, including new leadership in Scale AI's Alex Wang, a strategy shift from building open source tools to consumer facing AI, and hiring drama, reports of resentment over new engineering hires paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Meta is saying, quote, "Our next model will be good, but more importantly, show the rapid trajectory we're on, and then we'll steadily push the frontier over the course of the year." Baird saying, "We believe that the success of Meta's new generation of models will be more dependent on their ability to boost performance of Meta AI and the family of apps rather than compete against general LLMs.
You heard it. You heard it. Now, one of the biggest banks on Wall Street cut 2,500 employees, 3% of their global workforce. Now, I need you to hear this part very carefully. This bank had a record revenue year in 2025. Record revenue. All they still cut was 2,500. Could be more, but right now it's 2,500. And their own research note said this: headcount growth has been required for revenue growth, but AI is changing that relationship. They said it. Not me. The bank that just made record money told you AI is breaking the link between revenue and headcount. You can grow money without growing the people. That is the signal. Let's move on to story 3. A major social platform cut 15% of its global workforce. What social platform is that? One of the ones that your sister may use, or your wife may use, or your girlfriend may use. Pinterest. In an official public statement, they said these exact words: "We are making organizational changes to deliver on our AI forward strategy, which includes hiring AI proficient talent." Not "we are cutting because times are hard," not "the economy forced our hand." They said we want different people, AI people. Now let me connect all 3. I want to make sure that I connect all 3 so that you guys understand. 2 weeks ago, a fintech company cut nearly half its staff. Stock went up 25%. This week, a 16,000 job potential cut at one of the world's largest companies. A Wall Street bank with record revenue cutting 2,500 workers. A social platform cutting 15% and explicitly replacing them with AI talent. This is the same script running at larger and larger companies every single week. I want you guys to type signal in the chat if you see the pattern. Type "still waiting" if you think this is still isolated, okay? Type it in the chat. Now let me show you what this looks like from inside a real company, because the numbers can feel completely abstract until you see the human side, okay? I came across a story of a senior executive at a major technology company. She shared her story publicly this week. Before the restructuring, she managed 3 people. I want to share that story with you guys, because you will see exactly the name of the article that I came across, okay? Check this out. She used to manage 3 employees. Now she oversees 24. Welcome to the age of mega manager. Senior executive. One of the world's biggest technology companies. Before the restructuring, she managed only 3 people. After restructuring, she managed 24 overnight. She now works 10 extra hours every single week. Her quote: "This whole thing only works if everybody levels up." And here is the data behind her experience. Middle manager job postings were down 12.3% in 2025. The average number of people reporting to each manager jumped from 10.9 to 12.1 in a single year. And at the company preparing for the biggest cut of this entire story, the CEO just announced manager to employee ratios of 1 to 50 in their new AI engineering organization. Just imagine that. At one point in time, they said, you know what, you can manage 7 employees. That was the optimal number. Then, some years went by and you can manage up to 12. Had 12 people that I've managed before. And now, in the world of the mega managers, according to one of the biggest companies out there, 1 to 50 is the new AI engineering organization. 1 manager, 50 employees. That is the corporate world being built right now. So let me give you the most important question of this entire segment. If companies are restructuring around AI and releasing everyone else, who survives? Tell me that. Who survives? Which are going to be the people that actually survive? I'll tell you who's going to survive. The answer is not complicated. Category 1, strong performers. The person who work hard, the person whose work shows results that can be pointed to, not the person who looks busy, the person whose output is undeniable. That's a person who survives. Category 2, AI native workers. People who learn AI tools early, use them every single day, and demonstrate the output. Category 3, workers with transferable skills, people who can move across functions as roles change around them. Now here's the counterintuitive part. Stanford research found workers aged 22 to 25 in AI exposed fields saw 16% employment declines. But some of these same companies are specifically keeping the recent graduates. Now, why would they keep the recent graduates? Because they arrive AI native. No bad habits to unlearn. Fresh perspective on building with AI tools. The question is not whether companies will restructure around AI. They already are, guys. The question is, which category do you fall into when they do?